let's see if this works better. What's going on? Hey guys, thanks for jumping back in here. Everybody's back. Everybody's back. Everybody's back. Much better? Good. I did a hard reset. Hey, what's going on, guys? So what I did was I took the battery out of my phone. Yeah, that's what I did. So hey, I'm glad it worked. I still didn't get in the shower. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. Much better. Awesome, Captain. Thank you so much. This is awesome. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for joining, being in here today. I'll make this quick as possible. I know you guys want to get on with your day. No, you know what? I think it was me. I had to reset. Hey there, Deadbeat Docs. Do me a favor, everybody. Invite your friends and followers. Thank you so much for doing that for me. If you like what I'm saying, if you like the messages that I share with you every morning, I come here with fire, motivation to get you on your day. That's all I'm trying to do. Yes, thank you, Yaz. I appreciate that. It's real nice of you to say. Hello, V. Renee. Good morning, Camille. Good to see you, the wellologist. Hey, Jasmine. Good to see you. Hey, Gigi. Good to see you as well. I know Gigi. She's a mobile marketing expert. So you can follow her if you want to learn more about mobile marketing for your business. Kind of like lead gen through text messaging. You can give out a short code, and then you can collect people's emails and stuff like that. Check her out. Cynthia, the smart chick. She's awesome. I've caught a few of her scopes. And yeah, Gigi, put some emojis in here if you can, so people can see who you are, if you don't mind. And Cynthia too, she's amazing. Just got to meet her as well. She's based on the West Coast. Great entrepreneur, everything else. Yeah, it's been a long time. I haven't seen you in a minute, Marcel. It's been a long time. Mr. Andreas. Hey, Stephanie, good to see you. Good to see you. Nando Photograph, Cam 2. Yo, pow, love it. Love it. Hey, Gigi, are you still here? Not sure if you're still here. Okay, thanks for being in here. Hey, Connie, you look like you're new. I appreciate it. All right, guys, do me a huge favor. Hey, General Assembly. Take a look at General Assembly, guys. If you don't know who they are, you can Google them. I was fortunate enough to speak at one of their events for freelancers and entrepreneurs to talk about pricing, some other things too. They're phenomenal. They're based all over the country, but they teach you, basically it's an academy to teach you stuff. Teach you how to code, teach you business acumen, just giving you the tools you need to go out in the marketplace in a ever-changing economy. Thank you, Matt Crane 10X. I talked about him earlier. Southern Tennessee, amazing business coach. Check him out as well. All right, signal is good. Thank you so much. Let's get started. For those who don't know who I am, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Ebongeka. I'm a certified public accountant in the Washington, D.C. area. I'm also the author of the small business book, the best-selling small business book, Start Me Up, the No Business Plan Business Plan. If you want to grab a signed copy from me, some of you already have, you can go to startmeupbook.com. That's startmeupbook.com. It's an easier way for you to get started with your business without a business plan by following 4 major steps. That's it. Simplicity. Complexity is the enemy of execution. When things are complex, you do nothing. There have been scientific studies to show that. When you're given a multitude of choices, when you're given too many choices, you choose none. When you're given too few choices, you choose none. So there's an optimal amount. In this particular case, it's 4. You do 4 things, you can get your business off the ground. Jed Recker is, he's also on Snap. He's a social media maven, social media a phenomenal guy. You can take a look at Jed Recker. Had a chance to meet him here recently this summer. Awesome dude. And he's all over the place, so I love it. So yes. So Stephanie has a copy of the book. A lot of you guys have copies of the book, so I appreciate that. If you want a signed copy from me, you can go get it at startmeupbook.com. If you want to buy it on Barnes & Nobles and Amazon, it's in the bookstores, also online as well. You can go pick up a copy there. And if you have questions, I will answer them if you have the book. Now, the book is awesome. Oh, thank you so much. Hey, Gigi, thanks so much, Gigi. I appreciate it. Gigi's who I'm talking about right now. She's the mobile marketing. Gigi gets your mobile, whatever. She's the one with the digits and the short codes, and you can do your lead gen. So check her out. So today's message is very simple. It's everything starts with a vision. And I was thinking about this as I woke up because Inspiration comes from everything that I've done in my life has come from a level of inspiration. It's come from a word, a book, a song, a conversation, maybe a lecture I saw, maybe something that I heard in passing, whatever it is. And I want to show you how simple, but how important it is to pay attention to that vision. The vision is like a seed, right? So the vision is like a seed. If you look at when you were a kid in elementary school, and when I took class, they had biology, and they would say, here's a seed, plant this in a flower pot, water it, nurture it, and then after 6 months later, you're gonna have this little sproutling coming up. It was a little small plant that they had you could buy anywhere. Your dreams and goals are exactly the same. Everything in life follows the same thing as nature. There's no difference. So when everything starts, when your idea starts, it's a dream, it's a vision, it's a goal, it's an idea, it's this small, right? You plant it in the ground, and you're responsible and you're required to water it, to nurture it, to make sure you get all the weeds out, to make sure you don't allow people to come in here and take a piss on your lawn, take a piss on your dreams and your goals. You're responsible for protecting it. So it's really important that you know that, right? And exactly, we're a culmination of what we have. Exactly. So part of that also includes not only pouring in good stuff into the dream, is pouring stuff into yourself. The books you read. Am I reading books? Am I paying attention to other people? Am I going to conferences? Am I watching videos? Am I listening to people who I admire and aspire to be like? And so it's very simple. And so the last few years of my life, the ideas that I've had that are coming to fruition now were all dreams. So here's an example when I shared with my book. It was a very, very simple thing. I had the idea for the last several years. It took me 3 years to get the book to publish. You understand what I'm saying? It took me 3 years to find a traditional publisher who would pay me money to write the book. But it was a dream from years ago. It didn't happen like someone said, write this book, and I wrote it the next day. It took some time to get there. And I had people throughout the whole process telling me it was not a good idea. I had people throughout the whole process telling me to do something else. I had people throughout the whole process saying it would never work. I had people throughout the whole process telling me it would never sell. You understand what I'm saying? And now, so the question then becomes what do I do next? The goal is this. You got to look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, what do I need to do in order to make this become a reality? The easiest way, it's still a difficult path, but the easiest way is to find people who are doing exactly what you want to do. Listen to their story, find their story, and emulate their journey. The goal is this. You will go through difficulty along the way, but what will happen is you will shortcut that process. So, the first person to climb Mount Everest, whatever, Edmund Hillary, whatever his name is, it took him ages and years. Now people cut that thing in half. Cut that time like in exponentially shorter. Why? Because they've learned from the mistakes he made. They learned from the successes he made, and they know how it's coming. I appreciate you saying that, Mr. Williams. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. That's the truth. So when you see Edmund Hillary climb the thing and he's falling here and he's falling there and there's a pitfall there and it's cold over here, you can prepare for that. You can plan for that. When you see somebody, if you have an idea to write a book, talk to other people who've written books. What did you do? What did you do? Here's a perfect example. Here's a perfect example. For any of you guys who want to write a book right now, who's in the middle, who's thinking about writing a book, who wants to write a book, here's a very, very easy tip. Now, the execution is difficult. But if you can execute this, you can accelerate your ability to write your book. One of the things that I've seen, I did a little bit of this with my book, is I got a voice recorder, right? I don't think I have. Normally I carry it with me all the time, but I have a voice recorder, about $30 and 2 batteries. I can literally I created an outline on a piece of paper, and I would speak my book into this. I would literally just talk about the things I wanted to talk about. And then I'd take the audio file and I'd send it overseas to get transcribed. And then when I got the transcription back, I would read through it and edit it. That literally cut the time of writing a book to 1/10, 1/20th of the process. Exactly. But still, the thing, Marcus, there are a lot of people who don't know that. They think they got to sit in front of a computer. So the enemy of success is complexity. Complexity is the enemy of success, is the enemy of execution. So a lot of people who have great ideas to want to share it in the marketplace will sit at their computer and say, you know what? Nah, I'll write it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. And you don't. Exactly. You did it in college and follow through. But that's the thing, though. You see what I'm saying, guys? So All it takes is seeing what other people have done. And that can allow you to shortcut your process. Then you can focus on the content. So when I wrote my book, I literally had to write my book in 3 months. But the last chapter of it, I spent a little part of that transcribing it. So I spoke into the last chapter or two because I was at the end of the deadline. I had to write 65,000 words in 3 months. I was told in my contract, you got to write 65,000 words in 3 months, or else we got to cancel the contract. I needed that anyways. That's fine. I needed that kick in the ass. That's totally fine. But you got to ask yourself a simple question. There is no way I've been able to write that much in that short amount of time had I not been writing for the last 3 years. Had I not found shortcuts. Had I not found other people who had written. People who were bestsellers. Talking to them. Asking them questions. What did you do here? What did you do there? Again, the whole point of finding other people to emulate is so you can shortcut your process. Thank you so much, Nicole. How do you handle pressure? Great question. It's hard. Everybody handles pressure differently. I always look at what's the worst that can happen. I had that mentality in my brain. What's the worst that can happen? And when I look at what the worst that can happen is usually, one, it never comes to fruition. And two, it's never as bad as it seems. As long as I don't have to worry about dying. I don't have to worry about being shot at. I don't have to worry about being, murdered or whatever. I tend to be okay at some point. But I'm able to control my mind because, again, you gotta look at it. Your mind will continue to go in a different path because its whole point of the mind is to motivate, is to keep you from harm. How do you stay motivated? Every single day I wake up, I look at my goals, I think about my goals, I look at my dreams, and what I also do is I look at other people who are achieving theirs, and I see how I want to be there, and not from a place of envy. It's from a place of knowing that I got to do the work. That's basically it. And don't get me wrong, there are times when I fall, man. There are times when I get sad. There are times when I have depression. There are times when I'm like, oh man, this sucks. I'm working so hard, da-da-da-da. But I understand that it's a journey. I understand I'm walking, right? But I also understand the simple principle. It's a very, very simple principle that people got to get. Do you write your goals down? I write my goals down every week, and I revisit them every day. Every single week, I write my goals down. Some people write them down every day. I haven't got to that place yet. I just started writing mine down every week for the last year. So I write my goals down every week. I revisit them every day. I take a look at them. Okay, look, this is what I need to do. This is what I need to do. I'm talking about short range, but also long range goals. And I see what I'm doing today, how that comes. He keeps sending me questions. I'll answer them. And the simple principle is this, with regards to the journey. When you're in the middle of your journey, when you're in the middle of your desert, you got to understand this. And you can go back to the Israelites going through the middle of the desert, 40 years to get to Canaan. You got to understand, it took 40 years because they were complaining, walking in circles. It didn't take 40 years because that's how long it took to walk that desert, right? So if, say, you're going to another city, you're in a car, and you don't know where you're going, there's a very good chance that your brain will make you go in circles. Why? Because your brain wants to be familiar with landmarks. Your brain wants familiarity with benchmarks. Your brain wants to know that you're going in the right direction. So it'll draw you to things that you've already seen before. That's why a lot of people walk in circles. If you walk in the middle of a forest, you don't know where you're going. Like the likelihood of you walking in circles is like 90%. Why do you think that when people are lost, like recently, people who are lost in the wilderness and they die? You know why they die? They die within a mile or two from where they originally were. Why? Because they walked in circles. They think that they're going straight, but they're not going straight in any direction. They're literally walking in circles. So go back to the ancient story of the Israelites. They lose track. They don't understand the journey. So while they're walking in circles, they're complaining. Their brain's telling them that they're walking in circles. Their brain's telling them they're going the right path. But a part of them is saying, no, I feel like I'm walking in circles. The next thing you know, you're complaining all day long and whining and griping. Hey, put that question back in there because I missed it. I was on a rant. So do me a favor and can you rewrite the question or mention it again, please? Exactly. So you cut corners. But here's the thing, though. If you find people who are doing what you want to do have already done it, you can literally avoid the pitfalls. You can literally find out the system that you can make it more efficient. So, Patricia, what do we mean? You need positive guidance. People in general need positive guidance. So that's the thing you gotta realize is that, right, everything starts literally with a vision. It's your seed. You gotta plant it. You gotta nurture. You gotta protect it, right? You can't allow. It's like you can't allow other people. Exactly. Okay, in general, I get it. You can't allow other people to come here and dig up your seed, and piss on your dreams and everything else. And look, I get it. It's hard. What do you do about old business failures that trying to keep You don't let them pop up, Marcus. You don't. I'll tell you a quick story. I had a clothing business I had to close down. Lost a ton of money with it. This happened like less than 10 years ago. It doesn't come up. It doesn't. I learned. Like I'm not sad about that business experience. It's clients though. Then you got to get rid of the clients. So you got to find where you got to work with people that you have a good relationship. I'll answer that procrastination. I'll answer that in a second. You gotta work with people that there's an exchange of value. Hire a hitman. That's funny. You see what I'm saying? So it depends. So if you have clients, right? I have a guy that I'm going to start coaching at some point who's going through something similar. He had some failures, and people are talking to him about it, like bringing it up. And you got to create your own personal ecosystem. So here it is: your brain, your mind, your personal boundary. You got to look at it like a castle. Okay. Back in the day, in the 1200, 13, whatever they had castles, 1200, 12th century, 13th century, they had castles with moats and drawbridges. Why? Because every single person who needed resources would storm the castle. And you got to keep out the bad people, but you also have to allow some of the good people to come in and out. So you created a drawbridge, you created a door, you created everything else. There are windows, but everything else. I'm trying to rebrand separate from my old business. I hear you, Marcus. You could totally do that. But again, part of the rebrand also includes having a conversation with the clients that are coming over so that they understand. You know what? To some degree, you should know what it looks like. That's a good question. Should you be able to see the end of the vision? You should be able to. I didn't catch your name, but K Music. You should be able to see what your vision looks like. You know why? Because if you don't know what it looks like, you won't know if you're on the same path, right? Here's an example. I don't know where you live, but I live in the Washington, D.C. area. Baltimore, city of Baltimore is like 45 minutes away. If I have no idea what Baltimore looks like, every 10 minutes, I'll be looking on the road looking for signs to make sure. You're in London, okay? I used to live in London. I used to live in South London. I used to live in Croydon, right? So say you live in London and you're driving to Coventry. I've been to Coventry as well. I used to play basketball there, so I had played against a team there. So say I'm going from London to Coventry, right? If you have no idea what Coventry looks like, if you don't see it on a map, if you don't see it on Waze, if you don't see it in Google Maps, you don't see it on whatever map app you use. If you don't see that what Coventry looks like, if you don't know what the distance looks like, what ends up happening is this. You end up looking at every street sign, you end up talking to almost every single person, asking them to tell you if you're on the right path. And what ends up happening is the other people, from their perspective, send you in different directions. So you end up deviating from the path, the path of least resistance. You end up deviating from the more direct route. So you have to have a general idea of what that looks like to you. The clearer, the better. Now, it may change, but you have to have a clear vision in your mind as to what it may look like. Exactly, Cynthia. It keeps you focused. So if you know what it looks like, it keeps you focused. Hey, Christian, good to see you, Chris. Yeah, Chris. Yeah, Marcus, they will dictate your path. Exactly. Yeah, Marcus, that's it. Whatever what you said earlier. I hope that works. And, again, when you're rebranding, each rebrand is you, but it's a different vehicle. So that's how you have to look at it. And if you come along for the ride, you create personal boundaries for stuff. Do not allow things to come into your life that don't help enrich you. I don't mean help from a taking perspective, like a parasite. I mean help in terms of giving you that iron sharpens iron, that gives you value in your life, right? News comes and goes. I don't listen to news much, right? But I catch certain things that are happening, bad things that are happening. I get it. It sucks. It's sad. But a lot of times I can't dwell on that. I can't spend my time on Facebook. I can't spend my time doing other things. I can't produce anything of value if my time is inundated by looking at stuff of people, news and Facebook and people complaining and whining and griping and murmuring. I can't. You can't either. You can't get anything done that way. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome, Marcus. That's cool then. Completely different. Separate business. Good. It's a separate business. Someone's asking you, ask you a question. It's a separate business. That's it. It's a different brand. That's it. You only get one trend record. We have a limited opportunity. So yes, exactly. Thank you so much, Cynthia. That's it. That's one of the biggest things. Time is your most exactly, Dr. Watkins. Thanks for being here. Yes, time is your most valuable asset. That's basically it. You got to understand that when you get to a certain age in life, the earlier the better. When you're younger, I hope you get it earlier, but I didn't until like 10 years ago. time is the most important thing in my life. Time is the most important thing in my life. I do not like to waste time. I don't like to, every time I do something, there's a tremendous amount of value that I put with my time. Tremendous amounts. I don't like, even me talking to you guys, I enjoy doing this. I do not like to waste my time. Why? I can never get it back. No matter how much money I ever make, no matter who I know, no matter what I do in life, I will never ever get my time back. Money you can get. Other things you can get. Exactly. You can't buy, you can't borrow, you can't do any of that stuff. There are people on their deathbeds trying to borrow time. They're begging for time. God, give me 10 more minutes with my family, 1 more year, 1 more day, whatever it is. Time comes, the end comes for all of us. So you got to remember this. When you have a sense of urgency, the things you do, you will not put off. So if it means you got to stay late and work, fine, because you know what the end looks like. Because if you don't know what the end looks like, you won't know why you're putting that amount of effort into it. So when you put the amount of effort into it, you know what the end looks like. You know what time is the one thing you will never change or deviate. So you got to have that kind of focus. But again, everything starts with a vision, right? If you don't know what the vision looks like, you will not do the things that are necessary for you to do to get to the end of that place. Do you want to be a loving memory or a lasting legacy? Oh, that's awesome. I love that. I love that. Exactly. Lasting legacy, my friend. I love that. That's exactly what I want to be. One other person of note I want to mention is Lo. She's still here. She put some emojis in here. You should follow her. She talks about relationships and the polarization in relationships. Male and female, feminine and masculine, which doesn't necessarily have to be heterosexual, but this is the polarization between the feminine and masculine energy. So this, follow her. She started doing periscopes recently. I think she did her third scope yesterday. So I'm really proud of her. There's some of you on this scope who have yet to do your first periscope. And there's all these things that are giving you reason to pause. But I want to remind you that there's no reason for you not to take the first step to do something. I'm torn into able. Thank you, Wendy. And there's no reason for anybody to not take the chance. Look, let me be clear with this. I've had conversations with clients. I've had conversations with people. I've had conversations with loved ones who I'm talking about social, and they don't understand the impact and the power of social if you use it the right way. Now, some people initially have a mindset that social is to waste time and to do this and take pictures of foods and selfie, all that stuff. There's multiple levels. There are levels to this. There are on a spectrum of life. Everything is very rarely black and white, but there's multiple levels of stuff. On the spectrum of life, the people who are using it in that particular way are more consumers of content than providers, right? They're more consuming. They're consuming the content. They're also adding some, but they're consuming. In my case, I'm providing tremendous amounts of content. And at the point where I'm monetizing now. I'm partnering with brands. I have a Twitter chat that's coming out with Uma. If any of you guys are familiar with Uma Office device, it's OOMA. It's a voice over IP, great phones. I use it, and that's why I ended up joining with them. Great, amazing. So it's understanding being able to add content and add value to people's lives, right? And so social is one of the best vehicles to do that. I talk to business owners and they don't understand. I talk to business owners, they don't understand the importance and the power of social. And they're still saying, well, I should do this, I should do that. I should send, flyers and send a mailer and all this kind of garbage. But you have the ability to get in front of people. Do not make excuses for why you can't do anything. When you have an action, we will make an excuse. Right? When we have an action, we will make an excuse to justify why we're not doing what we should be doing. There is no reason why I know about certain social platforms well and others don't. There's no reason. Because I don't have to go to Harvard to learn that stuff. None of you had to go to Harvard, right? Their books whenever something new comes out, I get it. I'm on it. I'm learning. I'm listening. I'm watching the adopters. I'm watching what they're doing. I'm reading about it. That's it. Why? Because I know it leads to building your business. I know it leads to growing your practice. I know it leads to growing your client base. Anything that you talk about, you can create a scope. You can create videos. You can create written content all about what you do and give value to people and share stuff with them. And that's it. Exactly. So you can read books, but by the time books come out, usually they're outdated. So the books that have come out this year, were written last year. And last year, people weren't doing retargeting, right? So if you look on Facebook, people weren't doing Facebook retargeting. That's all. It's out. It's already obsolete. Unless you're looking like Gary Vaynerchuk's book is more about strategy, dealing from a human perspective, not necessarily from the platform, but like why you use certain platforms in certain ways and how people use certain things. So exactly, no excuses, no excuses, only solutions. I also say no excuses, just adjustments. And there's so many of you that could be doing much bigger things and growing your business, but you're afraid to do your first scope. Do the first scope. You're talking to yourself. All I can see, I can't see you. All I see is myself. You can't make money and excuse. You can't make money and excuses. It's either or. I love that. I'm going to use that. I love that. I've been doing smaller paperbacks to push them out faster. Hey, that's awesome, man. Whatever you need to do, Marcus, if that works, do that. Do you, right? That can be the baseline for your speaking. That can be the baseline for your whatever you're doing. You push out the content. You tried. Do it again. Try again, mon chéri. 81. Mon chéri 81. It felt kind of weird. It will. Every new thing will feel weird to you. Every new thing will feel weird to you. Yes, Marcus is the bomb. I like Marcus, man. He's cool. I really appreciate the support, man. But yeah, and True No Lies. Oh, True No Lies is awesome, man. I love True No Lies. Exactly. What people think of me is none of my business. So just scope and be you. Hey, you need to check out True No Lies. He is awesome. He's an inspiring dude. I caught his first Periscope. He, another inspiration. And, he's based in Bridgeport, Connecticut, and he's looking to make changes. He talks about his life very candidly and shares that there's a journey that we can all go through to learn about what we can do to be a better person in a better place, to take care of our family, our community. This is a very inspirational guy. He's good on a Periscope, good voice, everything else. So, I mean, guys, just check him out. Follow him, see what he's talking about. And you know what? Just try everything. You see what I'm saying? Like in life, you gotta experiment, guys. Like you cannot look for magic pills. They don't exist. You can't look for one thing. You gotta try everything. I love that, Chris. Michael Jordan sucked at baseball, but he still went for it. Exactly. Exactly, Chris. And just do it. Just try it. Because then what ends up happening is your brain says this is what's happening in your brain. Your brain's saying this, mon chéri, and everyone else who wants to do their first scope. Your brain's saying this. Don't do this. This is scary. This is ridiculous. What if people laugh at you? What if people laugh at you and they hate your scope? Then all of a sudden they hate your scope. They'll call you names and then they'll come and burn down your house. But the reality is none of that happens. What ends up happening is they don't like your scope. They just don't go to it. Maybe you get a negative comment and that's it, right? And so your brain's telling you all this stuff to protect you, right? Protect you from the potential ridicule or potential bad stuff. But you got to understand, the more you start doing it, your brain gets on board. Your brain starts to say, oh, they're doing it. All right, then if we're doing it, I might as well just enjoy it. That's what ends up happening. Every time you do something new, that's what ends up happening. So that's exactly how it has to happen. Because you're having a conversation with your brain. You got to understand, you are not your brain. Your conscious mind is different from your brain. Your brain has primal tendency to take care of you. So you got to fight that sometimes. There's no such thing as perfect. Exactly, Marcus. Perfection is a myth. No such thing. Just practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes permanence. Practice does not make perfect. Practice makes permanence. So it ends up creating a permanent habit of sorts by practicing everything in your life. So, yeah, slow you are. Exactly. I agree, Chris. Tim Ferriss talks about write down what's worst that can happen, and then you can get over. Exactly. I love that. That's a great one. I love that. That's so cool. I really love that. I read psychology today. I read psychology all the time. I love psychology. I love the reptilian brain, the croc brain, which are different ways, the amygdala, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of different things on behavioral economics, behavioral science that I always like to read because I like to learn about people. Yes, mentally and physically and spiritually. Exactly. So I read about all these things all the time on purpose so I can learn these things. Thank you hey, Chris, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. I'm following you, so hopefully I'll catch one of your scopes when I get an alert, man. But yeah, you guys are phenomenal. I got to get out of here. But I want to remind you guys one simple thing. It's Friday. People are celebrating the weekend. They're about to have martinis at 5 o'clock and go to their local bar for happy hour. I have no problem with that whatsoever. But let me tell you something really simple. If you have a dream or a vision or a goal, it behooves you. It's your responsibility. It's your duty. It's your right. It's everything in your being, to use everything in your power to be able to go after that dream and goal. Because again, at some point in time, they'll put you in a box in the ground. And when that happens, it's a wrap. There is no more opportunity to do anything else. What's the name of my book? Start Me Up, Route 522 Diner. Oh, that sounds really cool. I love diners. Start Me Up, the No Business Plan, Business Plan. It's Start Me Up, the No Business Plan, Business Plan. That's it. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lo. So that's it. You can get a copy there, or you can also get it on Amazon, or whatever. If you get a copy from me, I sign it and send it to you. Or if you get a copy on Amazon or Barnes & Noble, that's fine too. Yes. I mess up on my scopes. I don't worry about exactly. People don't even notice. There are times that I've had a message, I forgot the message. I had to make another message up because I had another message in my head. Really? On scopes. In speeches. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Just don't bitch. Exactly. Just don't bitch anyways. Exactly. Don't be the bitch of your brain. That's another scope I did. Don't be the bitch of your brain. Do not allow your brain. Don't be subservient to your brain. Right? Every single thing. You got the awesome, so awesome. Archogris. Your brain wants to keep you safe. Everything you want to do in your life is hard for a reason, but you cannot allow your brain to win that battle. That's basically how I look at it. And so you got to focus on the things you really want to accomplish in life. I got warned before I messaged that. And so yeah, you got to figure that, exactly. The audience don't know or care. Exactly. If you're bringing value, that's it. Every single thing you want is outside of your comfort zone. Every single thing you want is outside of the door, outside of the castle, wherever you're at. That's how life is. I love watching these nature channels and watching these animals chase after things, because they gotta kill it to eat, or else they starve and then they become food, right? The ego is ruthless. You're right. Thank you so much. Glam tam tam, glam tam tam, glam to tam tam, glam tam tam, the glam to tam tam. Sorry, I got excited. Yes, exactly. Taylor Swift and Shake It Off. Exactly. There are so many people who aren't taking a step towards their dreams and goals, and they're losing out and they're suffering, right? And there's no reason in life for you to be able to do that. You have everything you need to get everything you want in this life if you take the requisite steps to get there. That's it. That's a first? Really? Well, yeah, I know, probably with the singing, but I mean, I always sing people's